Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. My name is Carrie Johnson. I'm a paralegal student over at MCC, and today I'm going to do a little bit more of a formal presentation of a video I did upload yesterday, and it is initial case file opening setup. So I've got my file here, okay, and I've got a task list of tasks to do on this case file. So this is a real employment law complaint that involves myself and Red Robin of Manchester. So this task list is pretty much I would place on the outside of a file of a case a list of tasks that I would have someone do on that case file in my office. So here I have sent a letter of request to file a complaint with the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, as well as an EEOC online official charge for workplace discrimination and hostile work environment against the defendant, Red Robin Restaurant of Manchester. So that's one of the tasks that are listed here for someone to do. In a law practice, there is a tickler system that kind of notifies them of when something needs to be filed urgently. So with the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities, as well as EEOC, they have given people 300 calendar days from the date of termination to file a formal complaint to be investigated regarding hostile work environments and workplace discrimination. So for this particular case, August 20th will mark 300 calendar days to file. So on here, I have a deadline, and I put it up here at the top, 8/20/22, and then to be completed by Carrie Elizabeth Johnson. So I've got these tasks up here, and I will place it on the outside of the file for a reminder of what to do. So log of communication is on the inside. That's the first section of the file that you would pretty much log all communication, inbound, outbound, in person, or any forms of electronic communication you would place up under this form. Any correspondence would also be placed behind this cover sheet, file cover sheet for log of communication. So that it's usually done in chronological order. So the date in which something is being received, you place it on top, and you can just continue to place it and pile up the paperwork on top of with the most recent correspondence that you've received either in the mail or electronic communication. You can place that there as well. And that's what the communication log form looks like. I downloaded a Word template online. Very easy to do. And fill in all applicable areas for record keeping on this communication log, and behind it would be any other paper correspondence. As I mentioned before, you place them behind this form in chronological order. or the date in which they are received. And then you always keep the originals in the file and furnish copies to the appropriate government entities, so that when they take over the case, they can see what's going on with you on your end. The complaint is this is the cover sheet of my complaint in my file. And then, of course, you place a formal complaint, a copy of that behind this cover sheet, as well as any other formal complaints that you had to, I guess, subsequently file alongside with the Commission on Human Rights and Opportunities complaint and EEOC complaint. So let's say you have to file a complaint with Department of Health and Human Services. They have a specific form that they use for formal complaints with their department, as well as what is it? Connecticut Commission on Women, Children, and Seniors in Hartford, Connecticut. It's CWCS. So they have a request form. That is also something that, you'll place this right here behind this cover sheet. Discovery. Normally, you would know a lot more about an applicant if they had their resume. But in this particular situation, that I think kind of is a double-edged sword for both myself as well as the defendant, Red Robin, is that when I applied for this position and got hired on the spot, I had just the Red Robin job application that does not highlight or illustrate all of my culinary experience here on the East Coast as well as in California. So, contrary to my EDI distance learning initiative employment law video that I took back in 2019, I don't have a long paper trail because I was fired after 2 days worth of work. So I kind of know why that might have occurred due to just having the paper application. However, I'm also I have a very good memory of that job interview with the assistant manager. So they will learn more about me through the discovery process. So another thing that I strongly recommend, that once you do file that formal charge with the EEOC and the government lawyers, make sure that when they request discovery against the defendants, make sure that you ask that government lawyer to provide you with a copy of the e-discovery file, because there might be something that you were not able to uncover because you lack the resources or the means to getting a hold of certain information. And sometimes employers will even put stuff like disciplinary actions or anything that you weren't even aware that was written about you. So that's something that you should always discuss and request from the government lawyers that are handling the formal complaint that you have filed against your employer. Evidence. What evidence do I have? Of course, I have pay stubs as well as a number of electronic communication that I felt was intentionally done. And so all of that evidence would be up under this cover sheet, as well as a full resume and career portfolio information up under here, because most of the evidence that I have is based on my culinary work experience, as well as the references and everything that the assistant manager failed to take a look at with another employer to really assess someone's skills and pay rate at the correct level. And academic transcripts, all of that stuff. They will learn more about me through the discovery process. So we'll learn more about each other doing that once the attorneys sit down with me. The answer. So any responses that I get from both Charo and the EEOC, I will print off copies of, and also anything that they receive from the defendant's side, I will request copies of those answers to see everything. And because I have my memory, they have their side, and then we go from there. So that would be placed behind this cover sheet. Very simple. Daily work log. So the case file log. Normally, you will not be working on a case file every day. Please keep in mind this is not a client file. This is a personal employment law case that occurred most recently, in which it was not like a mistake or an accident, and it is my case. So it's a personal employment case. So that will go here. Now I'll show you what the daily work log looks like. So I downloaded an Excel spreadsheet online. I've taken, at RCC, it was a requirement for their paralegal program to take a computer Word Microsoft Office course. And there are some really like smart people out there with Excel skills that is out of this world. I'm not the best Excel person, and one thing that sometimes we kind of forget to do when you're so wrapped up in doing annual continuing legal education or CPE or CE, we don't maintain like the remedial skills that we already had in college, like Excel, Word, PowerPoint. So I'm taking the time now to show you guys that I can use PowerPoint here, and then I'll upload this to my YouTube channel. Because we don't use it every single day, and we just usually will use it just at work. So since I'm unemployed, I have to demonstrate that I know how to use PowerPoint. So I will log in, completed task only under the daily work log. So measuring the time in which you complete a task, I suggest a stopwatch, or there's a timer on my laptop here that I can, do a stop and start. But just make sure that when you're doing the timer that you actually start working on some of these tasks, and then stop when you are completely finished, and you can log in what you have completed on this file here at the daily work log. And this Excel spreadsheet, they have an event. Let's see. I like this because it has an event scheduler here. So down below, it will show where you can put, once you've gotten a formal answer from the opposing party, they will usually set up a meeting, an initial meeting of some sort, and you can log that here on the Excel spreadsheet. So that's the reason why I like this daily work log. And just keep in mind that not every task is billable, and most of you guys will learn that in paralegal school. Rule of thumb, and I've noticed this just about not just law practices, but I've also been a leasing receptionist at Bayside Village and Marina in Newport Beach, California. And I noticed that a lot of the women had a lot of clients' files, residential files, all over the office on Lynn's desk, Sika's desk. She was the GM. You would go into Sika's office, who was the GM there at the mobile home park in Marina, and there's a lot of files that are just there. And it does, if you're not working on those files, you need to close them up and put them back, and properly store them in the file cabinet or the records section of your office. It looks messy, and you can easily mix up people's documents in different files when you've got files all over the place and filing cabinets and stuff, and you're just like, what is wrong with people? Just don't take something out of the file cabinet unless you're going to perform a duty on there and complete it and put it away. And on this task list, it gives estimated start dates, estimated end dates. These are just estimates, but fill in all the blanks on this form is what I would tell someone who was working for me. And then the actual start date of when you start on the file. But this is just for my YouTube channel to demonstrate that I knew what I was doing, what I was talking about. And this is how I would handle my personal household filing cabinet and stuff that I have going on here, relating to personal matters, not anybody else's cases. I'm not here to start any company where I live, and I've never stated that I was going to do any business in the state of Connecticut at all. So, what else? So yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Very short, going on 18 minutes. But I want to thank you for watching this video. Take a look at some of the other videos. Drop a comment if you would like. Let me know that you're breathing, and that this video is being seen viral. So my name is Carrie Johnson. This is Innovative Legal, official channel, verified channel. And I hope that you are all doing well. Take care.